So, but also some people have proposed that the concept of a hierarchy of needs can be transferred over to, or applied to design as well. You know, that before a design can wow us aesthetically, it has to meet some sort of fundamental requirements. So in this case, which I stole this off Wikipedia, or this one is from, well, you'll find it if you Google it. It's one of the first things that pop up if you type in hierarchy of needs design. But I thought it was quite useful. From low to high, we go from functionality to reliability to usability to proficiency, and then at the top is creativity. So for example, I thought it would be useful to come up with an example, like at the base level, the idea that a video recorder must record, play, and rewind. And at the top level, you know, the highest level of design, a video recorder can become like an icon. It can be admired for its groundbreaking innovations, for its beauty, and then, you know, at this level, maybe it's the video recorder that's part of MoMA's collection, permanent collection of design objects. So just with that in your mind, to begin, I thought we'd just turn this question over to our panelists, which is, does a hierarchy of needs apply to design? You know, are there reasons to think about design that way? And if we, as we're talking about this, if you guys can give examples from your own work and your own experience to kind of ground conversation and illustrate your points, I think that would be useful to all of us. So, anyone inspired to start? Carrie?
One of the interesting things working with a lot of private clients who may or may not be versed in the language of design is how the verbal language can prejudice the way a client or shape the way a process goes. And there's very different talking about the design process where needs are brought up at the beginning and then evaluating the end product. So very two different parts of this and how we evaluate the needs. And it's always interesting to me when I'm working with my clients to follow their verbal language, which also establishes their value system. There are many clients who, I told Jamie, they may say things like, well, we don't really care about how it looks, we just want it to be functional. And as if those were two different things. But it also puts out a value system that says they're interested in being satisfied by an economy of needs visually. And that's part of their personal value system. And so how we relate those needs, sort of true needs, versus emotional needs and psychological needs is also really interesting in the process. But that's a whole different that's a different part of it than actually looking at the final product and saying, does this product actually satisfy needs?
Well, we go through a similar process where there's an intensive kind of programmatic searching period where it's almost a kind of psychological examination. But I think for me the issue with Maslow is that it's sort of, I think it's more of the hierarchy aspect of it that it's sort of lost its truthiness in today's world. For me, these things are simultaneous, and we're talking about design. And so design, I think by its nature, is maybe, and maybe this is just me, it's aspirational at that high level where identity and function and beauty are synthesized together into a whole. And that actually is what design is to me, that it's actually not design yet. If it is the tape recorder that just records tape, but it's not, doesn't somehow reflect your identity. I think if you look at, say, Peter's objects, you know, the LED bulb, there's a reference to tradition, meaning it's referencing the form of incandescent light bulb, so people can connect to it if they are familiar with it. But it's beautifully made. It has curves are amazing. It is forward thinking. So I mean, that to me really is what design is about, and it's not necessarily a hierarchy that has, you know, a fine point at the top and a big wide base, but it's the simultaneity of these things operating together.
interesting that the part of that issue of hierarchy is that when we speak in very linear fashion, one word after a time, after another sentence. But design is experienced 3 or 4 dimensionally. And so there is this, how do you translate this, the verbal part of our lives where we might try and outline, diagram this hierarchy of needs and express those to a visual experience, which really is happening simultaneously. And I think this is where designers can help individuals who aren't versed in design translate their ideas and express those, because there's just the verbal sequence of a sentence is completely different than a design experience.
Actually, I think that those are both very, very well put. I think one of the things that troubles me a little bit about the pyramid behind me is that it reminds me a little bit of the food pyramid, the nutrition pyramid, and somehow design is the thing that you need the least of, or you might never get to. I just think that just as a designer, looking at the design of the pyramid, I already find it troubling. But I agree with the comments that have been made about it being so much more of a synthetic process. I mean, the way so much of the work that we do involves just a multiplicity of users. And so there's, you're at some level you're designing for the community, you might be designing for commission, you might be designing for the developer, and as I mentioned, with the project. And so there are all of these needs. And I think that it's the designer's role to come up with solutions that, in a very synthetic way, meet all of those needs and make something that addresses the individual agendas. And that is not a linear process. And it is, in fact, very much an organic process. And an exciting process. I mean, I think it's the essence of problem solving. I don't know if the way that you put what you just talked about was for, I agree with completely. And I think that the relationship between industrial design, I'd be curious to, Peter, actually just have you talk about industrial design, which actually in some ways feels a little bit more specific. You're trying to accomplish an object that has a specific function and which can be very different than, let's say, an architectural project, which has many, many functions, and some of them are not even obvious. I'm putting you on the spot.
Thank you. Okay, well, of course, industrial design is quite, you only have one chance, and you multiply the faults. As an architect, you can make many faults and still people will be satisfied. But if we are making mistakes, then that really has an impact, on the business. And of course, we need the whole pyramid. And you don't need to show it. The whole pyramid really needs to be taken in consideration. And what we are specialized in is that we have branding and product design, which is quite unique in one of our 2 services, which we really provide internationally. And have you heard today, that the stock market ain't down again? Everyone does, right? Well, I'm a Swiss guy. I a little bit know about money, No.
Doing very well.
Yeah. No, I would very much like to talk about this. I think it's time for designers now. The bankers or business guys, it's really screwed up, the whole economy. I'm very sorry to say. And now it's time back, for values. And I think designers and architects, they are capable to create true values. And for us, now, since many years, I always been told, oh, you guys, you're very creative and so on, but later on, we are doing the business. But I think for us now, it's extremely important that people will start to realize it's not the cheapest product, which is suddenly becomes the best business forever, because we really need also to look at the values, and brands and products, they need to be at the same level. So that really was getting lost to the years, that a lot of brands which we also worked for, they didn't care so much about their values, but we need to feel, the values on the product. And so the product, they will support the brand, and the brand will support the products. And that is, for us, extremely important. So what we have is this user-centered design stuff. Maybe some of you guys know that. But we also have this brand-centered design, where we put the brand and the needs of the brand in the center of our activities, and see the DNA of the brand itself, compare that and shape it up, with the customer expectations, and then come up with some solutions. And that's important.
So I have a question for Peter. So when you're talking about values in relation to products, could you say what you mean by that? I think that I know what you mean, but how does it relate to needs? How is it different than needs? Is it related to identity? Is it an economy of needs?
Well, does that work? Can you hear me? So, okay. Well, good question, by the way. First of all, when we do branding, then of course, in the center of the action is always positioning and also creating the brand values. Every brand has 5 or 6 core values. Mike, do you know the core values of Alpha? Okay, can you just tell us?
Please. And they're here to hear you.
Okay. So it's pure function, quality, Swissness, and doable. And all this, needs to be looked at. If you look at the products, there's some sort, that should have some sort of a response on that. And if it comes to advertisement, a lot of our companies, they tend to forget that. Advertising is even worse than architecture, because you do it one day and forget it the next day. So that's the problem right now is that we, all on the way, a lot of companies, they try out many things, and there are a lot of, I can tell you, a lot of creative people in different companies. So, but the problem is that branding and brand-related design is not a democracy process. It needs to be someone who has to take the lead and shows, the way it goes. And that for a certain time, not only for 1 year, we need to have to do that for many years. And then, why people like Steve Jobs are so they are millennials. They are really taking it, to a certain level, and they're not giving up. If people like Steve Jobs would listen to everybody, people wouldn't be there as they are right now. But we also have some companies like I work for Omega, the Swiss watch. Does anyone know that? Okay, we're working for them, and the owner or the family, which owns them, they are enthusiastic about design, about branding, about marketing, and that all relates together. And that really is the value, that's the enthusiasm behind what you are doing. But if you are, just looking at the numbers and the business behind it, you will never be successful.
I have a question and / comment about that a little bit, which is that one of the questions that Jamie asked is, does something have to meet the hierarchy of needs in order to wow us aesthetically? And I think that's a complicated question, because I think we're in a marketplace where everyone is trying to wow us aesthetically. Everyone is trying to differentiate. And I think that what Peter's getting at in industrial design, which is that you may be able to wow someone immediately with something that people haven't seen before. But if the values aren't there to support the product over some period of time or use, then it really is a flash in the pan. So can it wow us aesthetically? Yes, maybe. But will it wow us consistently tomorrow? No. And I mean, I think we're all used to a culture where, we're constantly